to the guest chat.
When Ecamm was unable to create a live permission on your Facebook profile with public visibility, you may need to change Ecamm's live permissions on Facebook. Brian,
It's
I
me.
guess it's both of us. Yeah, go into Facebook.
Uh huh.
Oh boy, I don't know how to do that. Damn. Oh, we're
I
already
see
live.
us.
Mine's live too. Ghetto. So ghetto.
Very ghetto.
Oh my
Very
God.
ghetto.
Anyway, everybody, we're live,
Wow.
and
We live. We're here.
my name is Shad. I'm a visual designer, graphic designer, all those things, UX designer, and this is introduce yourself, Brian.
Wow. Yeah, I'm Brian Williams. I am a creative director, designer, um, jack of most trades. So
Master
yeah,
of some.
master of some, most of all, most basically.
What you checking for?
So it's so weird seeing ourselves on Facebook because it's delayed.
Here's another thing. We have been talking about doing social media content for years.
Ye- Years.
So many years. So for some of y'all that don't know, me and Brian met at our alma mater, the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. Whew, how many years ago? Like 20, 20 something years ago.
20 something years ago. Wow.
20 some years ago. So
Wow.
you're looking at over 50 years of creativity. Seriously, over 50 years of creativity. And we don't have anything to particularly talk about today, but
Oh, we got 5 viewers. We got 5 viewers.
okay, all right. So we do want to encourage the viewers to actually, we got eight. We want to encourage the viewers to ask questions. If you're like a young viewer, like a young creative entrepreneur or whatever, you have questions about graphic design, UX design. I'm a UX designer. You got questions about fonts. You got questions about how to get jobs, how to enter into the field, anything like that. We're just chopping it up. We're gonna post your questions live. Anything you want to ask us, go right ahead. We'll post it. We'll answer it. But I guess I could start with the importance of like a mentor.
Wow. Okay.
I talk about this all the time
Oh, you're gonna go
because
there. Okay.
I'm going to go there. So, um, 20 some odd years ago, when I met, no, I wanted to become a graphic designer so bad. I went to basically I stalked Brian. I went to his office. I hadn't even met him. I went into the university office and I talked to his boss and I was like, "Look, I need to learn graphic. I want to learn graphic design, and I need somebody to teach me." And she was like, "All right, sit right there." And then he came into the
So,
office.
so pause. Pause. So, so picture it: a big warehouse, and you have to kind of go. My office is all the way in the back, so you got to go through the customer service part. You got to go through the work floor, and my office is way back where the paper is. And I'm thinking I'm just going to walk into my office and start working. I walk in my office. I'm like, how do you get in my office? Like, who who just says I am going to bulldoze, forget anything else. I'm going to learn, which shows a lot of tenacity on his part. So
Look,
continue.
listen, it is what it is, man. So, um, 20, so I was Brian's apprentice for years. I mean, years and years and years and years, years and years. I asked this man so many questions. I sat right next to him, and he would look over my shoulder as I was designing, and he would say all the time, "What are you doing?" And I'm a very arrogant and cocky designer. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Designing, duh." And he would be like, "No, no, 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 no. Let me show you." And he would undo everything that I did, and he would show me the right way every single time. And I got so tired of him doing that. However, it was like the best thing ever because I learned the right way to do every single thing. Every single thing. So Brian is like classically trained graphic designer, visual artist, all that. But I'm
So,
I always say I'm self-taught, but I'm really not self-taught.
so, so one thing through that process, I said, "Wow, this guy is he's good. He's good at what he does." And so, uh, did you start working at UAPB before we became business partners?
I don't know.
Which one? Which one came first?
It was 20 some years ago. I don't know. I have no idea.
The chicken or the egg? I don't know which one it was. The cart before the horse. I don't.
It
I
was like
literally
a
don't know.
it was like a chig. I don't know. I really
So
don't.
so so I have been designing uh, freelance for a while, and I said, you know what? Uh, I'm tired of being like a solo dolo. So uh, one day I just rolled up on Shad. I said, let's collaborate and become a company. We locked ourselves in their apartment. I will never forget. Throwing names against the wall, seeing what's going to stick. Throwing names against the wall. And uh,
We were not
fresh
very good at
ink.
this. No, 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 no,
No,
no,
fresh ink was the first thing.
no. It
I
was
have a
not.
logo to I have a logo to prove it.
You want to know
I
what
was
the
very bad.
first
What was the first one?
IDG?
It was ID. It was
Oh,
IDG.
oh man, that was bad.
Wow.
That was really bad.
So it was IDG. Then it became Fresh Ink.
Yes, because you tend to. We both do this. We'll have a great idea, and then the next, either one of us will be like, "This is trash," and we'll both agree. Like, you know how you have an idea, you're just like, "This has no global appeal whatsoever." Like IDG, y'all, IDG stood for the International Design Group. We were not international. We were in a city that had 50,000 people. We were not international at all. In our
We had,
mind,
we hadn't been across. We had been. across the United States, good. Says international.
I thought I had it going on. That's all I gotta say. I was poor. I don't have a drop of money. I'm talking about international. Lord Jesus.
And I think that's what has kind of served us well, even to this today, that we don't think local. Even
Well,
for our clients, we don't we tend not to start local. Sometimes we have to really in and go local, but like we start off thinking the sky's the limit.
that's
So
that's very interesting because I think I've always been like that. I don't. I try not to think small because small ain't gonna get you nowhere. And
nowhere.
I'm a Christian. I serve a really, really, really big, dramatic God. Y'all know how dramatic Jesus is. Listen, folks always be like, church is doing too much. If you really think about Jesus, how he walked in that room, was it a hotel or something? He was flipping over tables. Where was he at? I don't remember. Anyway, Jesus was so dramatic, very dramatic. And he has a very, very grand vision. I'm the same way. Listen, I'm going to be over the top at all times. At all times. I ain't doing nothing simple.
All times, every day. So
The
so
synagogue.
we went
Okay,
from
R.J. Stevens said the synagogue. Thank you. He was in the synagogue. Exactly. For some reason, I can't see y'all comments. I'm supposed to be able
I can't see
to
them at all.
to post them anyway. So yeah,
So we start off being international,
very very
and
international.
we were from international to Fresh Ink, um, Fresh INC Ink,
Yes,
and so uh, we thought we were on and popping.
the
I think
shizzle.
I have our. I think I have that first business card around here somewhere.
Listen,
Okay.
when
Oh,
I look,
no. Shad would design fonts so small.
can't
How
see it.
small were they? You needed a magnifying glass to read it. And this is like body copy.
I
And
had
I'm
20.
sitting here like,
I used to have 20/20 vision. I could see it.
if he thought he can see it, everybody else can see it. No.
Absolutely. Cocky. Just
So,
cocky.
so one day, out of the blue, Shad said, uh, I changed the name.
Oh man.
Uh, Out of the blue, Shad said, uh, I changed the name.
Oh
So
man.
out of the blue, Shad said, I changed the name.
I'm getting some feedback. Hold on, Brian. Oh
So
man.
out of the blue,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm like, whoa, it just kept playing over and over and over again.
That was my fault.
So that's okay. So he says, Brian, I changed the name. I said, to what?
They changed the name
Fresh
to what?
Creative
What you
Group.
talking about? Oh yeah, I remember that. Dang.
I was I was not having it.
So what was the like?
I
What
I
was
don't
the purpose
know.
of us doing stuff like that? Weird. Just a weird little kid.
I'm like, I don't know. You just said, Brian, I changed the name. Like, not just change the name on a business card.
Mm,
With the
mm,
federal
mm,
government,
mm.
federally change the name. And I'm like, my feathers were kind of ruffled.
Oh my god.
I'm like, but yeah,
That's terrible.
but but 20 years, ups and downs,
Over
folks
20
moving
years. We are old.
over 20 years.
Oh
No,
my God.
you're old.
I have gotten
Um,
old. I still look good though.
uh,
That's all I got to say.
so so ups and downs over 20 years. We're still
Wait,
here. We're still friends.
Brian. Tori
What?
Delaney. Tori Delaney just commented on my Facebook.
No,
Wait a minute.
no.
So let me tell y'all about Tori Delaney. Are
Oh
y'all
Lord.
familiar? Y'all got to be familiar with, and I don't want to do it this way, but I'm going to say it this way. I'm sure y'all are familiar with the artist Todd Delaney. Tori Delaney is Todd Delaney's older brother. I went to school with Tori Delaney. Now, Tori Delaney had a group called Ready and Willing. Let me tell y'all, I designed,
Raw
we designed a website for Ready and Willing. The whole website was in Flash, y'all. Flash.
logos.
Oh my God. Brian did the logo, everything. When I tell you the text on that doggone CD packaging was so small, I'm sure y'all needed a magnifying glass to read it. Tori, I need you to dig up that that album cover and show us. It's small. Yeah, I know the text got to be tiny. It got to be.
So 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 funny that uh, Tori and I go to the same part of the same church system, New
Oh,
Life.
okay.
So Tori is the new minister of music at New Life Pine Bluff,
Wait a minute.
and I said,
New, New Life, y'all. If y'all ain't seen some good branding, New Life is like the branding gods when it comes to churches. I
"Oh
don't know
my
how they
gosh!"
do it. First of all, they
So
branding guide is like 100 pages. There's no way that you're gonna be off brand looking at their style guide.
so when I started attending New Life, and I was kind of like doing different little posts on social media saying how great the service was, or it was a good quote, took a picture here or there.
Mhm.
One day after church, I got a little. I've noticed you've been posting on social media. Um, will
Wait, who
you
said that?
will you stop?
Wait, who said that? The church?
Our our church admin,
Oh,
because I
y'all
was
gangster.
not because I was not following any guidelines at all.
Mm-mm.
No
Wow.
color. I grabbed the logo from offline. I was going rogue for the Lord.
So
And
wait,
so,
wait. You going wrong for the Lord?
right. So, because
Wait, stop.
at the
Pause.
time,
Uh. Mister, I am the style guy going rogue.
okay, pause. So,
Oh
at
no.
this time, I had just started attending the church. I
Okay.
was not part of any ministry. I was not on the capture team. I was not on the worship team. I was just another congregational member sitting in the pews.
I got you.
So, but I just wanted to post stuff. And so that that spirit of wanting to post stuff said, okay, if you want to post stuff, we're gonna show you how to post it our way.
I got you.
And so I got the style guide, and I had never experienced a document like it. it was like we how you present the time,
Hmm.
how you present the date, how you write certain things. It all has a continuity. And so I said, okay, I got on board. So we're leaning into the pandemic. And so we were getting ready for Mother's Day. And this is when I found out I had made it. Um, uh, he said, "Well, we need to do some posts for Mother's Day." So I said, "Okay, cool." Me thinking bigger and grander, um, I said, what if I did a whole sub brand just for Mother's Day?
Hmm.
It's it's not the church color palette.
Wait, are you talking
It was
about the pink one?
yes.
Oh yeah. That was nice.
So
If I had my other
that
computer, I would show y'all. I'm sorry.
all of that was like the idea of doing the mother stats, the mother
Hmm.
stats, like your age, how many children you have, how many grandkids, how many great grands, all that kind of stuff,
Hmm.
and doing their pictures and these quotes from women out the Bible, uh, only women out the Bible. No men quotes were done during the time leading up to Mother's Day, and so that one of the churches said, "Oh, we want to use your graphics for our Mother's Day."
Y'all
I
better.
said, I said, I have made it.
Mm, mm, mm.
I have made it. So yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Oh, okay. Here go the comments. So we got comments coming in. T. Lamar says, "Where are you an women? Were you an employee of the church?"
I was not a quote unquote employee. I was a volunteer.
Okay, a volunteer.
Yeah. In Pine Bluff, I was I sung on worship. I was one of the production producers, did social media, and I also did capture.
Okay. So
So
what
that
is
means every
very?
Sunday, huh?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So every Sunday I was doing something. You were saying what?
Um, that kind of segues into about my time working at a church, which is very, which is very interesting. A lot of people don't know what it's like working at a church or working for a church or even like what it's like working at a mega church. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Oh wow, you got silence. Very,
I
very
can hear
clear.
you.
Okay. Yeah. So y'all, I worked at this mega church for 7 years. And I actually used to work at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff with Brian. And then I left there.
Uh
No, you
oh.
better not. You
Hold
better
on.
not. You better not.
I am going to interrupt.
Okay, go ahead. Go
So
ahead. Go ahead.
so I have been there at UAPB for a significant amount of time. I was in printing services, and I said I need to leave. I want to leave, but I don't want to leave my area in a bad position. I want to have someone here who would do what would Brian do and better. So I go to my friend at his current job, asking him about working, leaving that current job and going to a new job to replace me, so I can segue out. So I said, okay, cool. So Shad's working with me. We worked together for, was it two 2 years?
It seems like so many years
It seemed
because
longer. It
yeah,
seemed like it was
because we never.
longer.
Well, I worked across the campus in printing services. We were in the same department, but different offices.
Right. But at this time you were working at Sears before you worked at you left UPB, you went to
Oh,
Sears.
I didn't leave.
We never gonna go there. You left.
I didn't leave.
You were no longer at UAPB. You went to Sears, and I called. I asked you one day while you was at Sears, do you want to leave Sears? Because I want to leave my job, so I want you to kind of replace me. And you guys, before I could even think to put in a letter of resignation, he calls me and said, I'm going back to Detroit. When? Soon. How soon? Very soon. I got a job at a church. I think all my hopes of finding a replacement
You said what? So you
went to
don't you
him.
don't you don't cuss on social media?
Okay. Did I cuss?
No, it sounded like
Okay.
you were about to, but you stopped yourself.
I think I did kind of like, yeah, we are on social media. This is not FaceTime.
What are you doing?
Hey, Jameson.
He want to go
But
out. Okay.
anyway, so he he left before I could leave. By eventually I left, but continue your time
Okay.
at the bigger church.
So so when I first got there, there were we had a creative director. They had a firm in the building, secretary, the whole nine. I mean, like uh, human resources, all kinds of. Hey, nobody. Human resources, just everything. I mean, the whole. It's the world headquarters of this large mega church. So I'm in there like. Oh, another thing. I was a member of a church, so I was very familiar with the church, but I wasn't familiar with all of the operations. So when I started working there, I'm looking at all the publications and stuff that have been printed, and I'm just seeing blue and gold, just like the University of Michigan, maize and blue everywhere. I'm just like, Jesus, like these are only two colors that they know how to print. Good lord! So they print stuff in two colors, two colors. Now, Brian, ain't no don't nobody print in two colors no more, right?
Nobody.
So I send something to the printer, and the printer he calls me immediately. He's like, "Hey, Shad, is it okay if I print this in four color?" I'm like, "What?" He wants to use his four color press to print a two color job. I'm like, "Hold on, you printing a two color job in four colors? Let me redesign this." So I just started printing. I just started designing everything in four color because I'm like, it doesn't make sense to spend the money and we only getting blue and gold stuff. So we went down that road.
Pause. Uh, jargon. He says
I
two
know.
color
I'm
and four
sorry.
color.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
So,
sorry.
that's why I'm here. So, whatever. Okay, okay.
We gonna put the
I'm
glasses on. We
I'm
gonna put the we gonna put
I'm
the
blind.
glasses on. Well, I
I'm
can't see the
blind. I don't
computer
think
up
you are.
close. These are a prescription.
Okay, okay.
All right.
So he mentioned two color and four color. So um, any color that you see on any kind of print material, um, 99, I would say 95%. I can't say 100%. Like like 95 to 90 to 95% of the time, that was printed on a four color offset printer. And the four colors are cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And
CMYK.
CYMK. Um, and then, but sometimes uh, certain corporations have a very identifiable color, and it normally falls under a Pantone color. Um, like I work at UAPB. Our goal is is 130. No. Yeah, 130. It's 130. Um, so certain like a four color press will be set up for two colors, turning off the two of the cylinders and using just two rollers to print those two colors.
Right.
Uh,
You interrupt
uh,
the whole process, the whole print
so
process.
so just to back up, the job that we were talking about early on was at our printing services. Uh at our printing services at UAPB. So printing four colors, gang runs, four ups, two ups, saddle stitching, uh, fast backing, all that jargon. We were baptized by fire in working at printing services.
But
So
that all of that prepared me to work at the church.
full
Um,
circle.
Full circle. There are so many graphic designers, visual designers that have no clue, um, or they don't have the knowledge to work in a print environment. They just don't have it. It doesn't mean that they're a bad designer. It just means that they don't have the print part. Like they don't understand what a bleed is. A bleed is you need extra um, artwork around the edges so the printer can cut off the sheet so the color can bleed off bleed off the edge of the sheet. The printers don't actually print on the edge of the sheet. The paper is bigger and they cut off the edge of the sheet. That's how they get the bleed.
Hold on, pause right there. It's gonna be a lot of pauses, you guys.
You
Um,
good? You good at this? Come on, keep it going.
so I had a client today, and he was like, yeah, I designed it for a full bleed, as she had explained. So I was like, yeah. He's like, well, yeah. I said, so who's gonna get the print it? He said, well, I don't know. I said, oh, okay. Um, it's designed to have a full bleed. Means I explained to him what full bleed meant. He said, I said, well, most commercial printers have a offset, meaning there's a non-print space around the edge that it will not print to.
Correct.
And so he was like, "Oh yeah, I have this, I have that." I'm like, "Are you sure? Because if you're gonna print as a bleed, it needs to be printed larger, blah 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 blah." But like the thing about it is our print knowledge that we gain at printing services years later, years and years later, is still paying off. It's still paying off.
Absolutely. Yeah, the knowledge that we gained at UAPB, which is the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, it's a historically black university. Great training ground. We had some amazing experiences there. Like it was a print shop. We actually worked in the office where the Heidelberg four color press was, and we would design the work, go back to the plate maker, print out the
Mm-mm.
film.
Uh-huh.
Wait a minute.
Mm-mm.
Print out the
Mm-mm.
film. What did I
Okay.
miss? Go
You
to
went plate
the
maker then. Okay,
oh
film
go
first.
print out the film. Go to and You had to go back to the dark room and put the film in the fix and the all that water and all that stuff, the chemicals. Did I mess this up? Because we don't do
Okay.
that no more. That's an old
Oh no,
process.
that's the old process. Like there was a big machine, huge machine that did all the fixative. Like you had to mix it and all the kind of stuff and fix it. Then you
Very
cut it.
dangerous chemicals.
Cancerogenic,
Yeah.
mind you. Um, uh, Lord, yeah. So did that. You had to cut it up. You got to put it on a masking sheet so it can line up. Then you burn it to a plate. Then you take that plate. They use another chemical
Yeah.
to spray the plate down to clean the plate off. Then you bit the plate and you send it to the person who's going to do the offset printing. And so doing two color is quite limiting if you can't use the the mixture of the two colors because green is not part was not part of the church's color scheme. So it's like every tint or shade of blue and every tint and shade of yellow, going from zero, which is white, to 100%, meaning full color, full saturation, not full color, full saturation. But anyway, back to
It was it
the
was it was
church.
terrible. Yeah. So just having that experience, learning how to print in large quantities, like 30,000 prints at a time, and staying within budget or establishing a budget because we have an entity that large. Sometimes you can tend to overspend, but a part of my job was establishing a budget, making sure that we were under budget quite a bit, and it was fun. It was a lot of work, and I learned a lot. There were a lot of challenges. A lot of people expect church people to be nice at all times, but we got to remember that church people are human, and church people have attitudes just like non-church people. Probably more attitude than non-church people because we got the I'm holy part, and we got the I'm still gangster, and there's a mixture of the two. And when the holy and the gangster mix together, oh no, it kind of gets a little off the chain at that point. But yeah, it was interesting. It was fun though. I mean, I had a really good time. I learned a lot. The church really prepared me for life. I mean, they they hooked me up, man. What you got, man? What you got?
So I thought we could.
See the
Is
comments,
there more
yeah.
question? Yeah, what's in the comments?
Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. David said, "Oh, okay. Look at you trying to explain stuff." Shalisa said, "Congratulations." T.L. Perry says, "Congratulations." Brittany says, "Congratulations." Raymond Key said, "Congratulations, I need this." Raymond actually used to do some work with us. Um, uh, I'm about to call her Linda Manning Liddell, but that's Mama. That's Duran's mom. I can't call her by her first name because that's Mama. Mr. Alexander said, "Gotcha, thank you." I'm sure you got some comments. Go look on your Facebook page. These are all on mine. I can't see yours, Brian. Sejan, my barber in Detroit and friend, said dope. And yes, Sejan, this is Ecam, by the way.
So I have R. Stevenson said I used to steal all y'all stuff all the time. Um,
Is he talking about the church?
I guess so. R.J. Stevenson.
Oh yeah, he's probably talking about the
Uh,
church.
um, Okay. Here's a good question. What type of software do you all use and what for? Woo!
Oh, that that's
Hold up,
serious.
hold up. Brandon Jones, I am about to give you your software life right now.
Dang.
I have a very firm conviction to software doing what the software is meant to do. However,
Hello.
put the finger down. Oh, hello. Some software is not meant to do some things, and you can fudge it. So we share certain software, and then he works on certain software that I don't work on. And then I don't think I work on anything that you don't work in. So um, I work majorly in
What's that word?
what's
Did you say majorly?
yeah
Is that a word?
majority majority mostly. Let's just say mostly. Dang, dang.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, Grammarly.
Let's ask
So
Chat GBT.
so so mainly, uh, I am a graphic designer, meaning that I do page layout, book layout, editorial layout, that type of stuff, mainly. So I use InDesign for that. I use Adobe InDesign. Adobe InDesign, uh, I'm gonna give you for what later. But as with my business, my my personal business, I do more identity design. So I use Adobe Illustrator. Um, and sometimes I'm asked to do some work uh, doing uh, photo composites. And photo composites are taking multiple photos together and fusing them together creatively. Um, and you see a lot of photo composites in your life. They're everywhere. Lots of movie posters use photo composites, and I use Adobe Photoshop. Um, I also use Lightroom for photo editing, like batch photo editing, because I, at one part of my life, was a photographer. Um, so the biggest part of that question was, and for what for? So Illustrator is meant to handle vector or pixel based art. Uh, if Shad would give look up the clinical definition of vector,
I'll look it up.
I think I I think I kind of answered it, but I in this type of stuff, I really want us to inform, talk, be humorous, but still, if we use a term, I want everybody to know what the term means. Um, so that's why you would do a logo in Illustrator. Illustrator will allow, if you ever see something and it looks pixelated, that means that it was done in a It was done in a raster um, based software like Photoshop. Photoshop deals with how many pixels are you, is it 300 dpi or is it 300 pixels per inch? Is it is it um, is it a certain amount of pixels? Like you go online and you're looking for an image and it says, oh yeah, it's 1,000. Is it 12? It's 12, 24 thousand by 36,000. Those are actual pixels. So that means that if I were to zoom that in, those pixels are going to get further and further apart, and it's going to start looking more pixelated. Illustrator, on the other hand, is not is dealing with the math of shapes. So if I zoomed in on a vector based graphic, it will never lose its clarity.
Never.
Um, so I use I use Illustrator for doing photo illustrate like doing um, illustrations, uh, logos. Um, if I'm doing a poster that is primarily vector based and vectorized, I might do the whole entire poster in Illustrator.
But like, are there moments? Well, I ain't gonna say there are moments. Tell us about a moment when you use Photoshop and Illustrator together.
Ooh, okay. So the, every software has a limitation, and certain things you can do in one, you can't do in the other. Um, I'm trying to think of when was a for instance that I used Illustrator and Photoshop together. Hmm. I am coming at a loss because I think sometimes how I work so fluidly, and I probably have used four softwares in a course of designing. I'm trying to think. Uh, I can't think of offhand. I really can't.
I do it all the time. Like I'll do like you do it too. Like say for instance you're working with a whole bunch of photos. You'll edit the photos in Photoshop, touch them up, and then you'll insert the photos into InDesign, which is like vector-based software. You know what? You did say Illustrator. I'm thinking about InDesign and Photoshop together. I got you. My bad. I'm sorry.
And then as you were saying that, I I okay. So not Illustrator into Photoshop. I'm gonna talk to you about Photoshop into Illustrator. So one, uh, I like Shad said earlier that I am a classically trained uh, artist. Paint, draw, sculpt, print make, um, make jewelry, all the different things that we learn in being a fine art uh, program. Um, I never really thought of myself as a illustrator. Really never thought of it. Um, I shied away from it. I did little bits and pieces. So I started going to design conferences. I started going to one in particular. It's called How Design Live. It's a large design conference held in the, the around the first of the year. Um, uh, and I also go to Adobe Max, which is held in um, the end of the year. Uh, I had the chance of meeting this pair of graphic designers and illustrator called DKNG, and I became obsessed. A bit stalkery on their socials, on their website, and I signed up for Skillshare. Great tool. If it's something you don't know in a multiplicity of different genres and subject matters, Skillshare is absolutely amazing. And they did not plug or sponsorship. They did not sponsor this live. Um, but I learned how to harness what I did know about drawing in Bezier curves. It became more and more apparent when I started kind of looking at their work and kind of mimicking, and after mimicking became my own personal style.
Okay.
So you can take a black and white texture.
Mhm.
Uh, I was working on this project. It was a self guided project. It was I wanted to do a lot of them, but the one was so exhausting that I kind of ran out of steam. It was these license plates, like reimagining different license plate, and the one that I started on was so apropos, Georgia.
Mhm.
I, so I wanted to make this license plate look realistic, and I had this peach. Reimagining different license plate, and the one that I started on was. Thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. So it was Georgia, and I wanted to make the peach pit in the peach look realistic. So I took a peach photograph, I made it black and white, and I turned it into a TIFF. And a TIFF file, if you bring it into Illustrator, you can you can colorize it.
Right.
So and you can add different layer effects and things to it. So all the softwares have their high points of what they're used for, and they work very much seamlessly together, more seamlessly now than in the past. But now they're kind of blending different things that you can do in multiples. Like you can do blend modes, or you can do Gaussian blurs in Illustrator now, and um, also in Photoshop. So it's just a point of I use primarily Photoshop, InDesign, and Illustrator. Sometimes I use um, Lightroom, but I'm not opposed to using some of these little trendy
Canva.
widgets. Canva, is one app I have on my phone. I use uh, Remini.
Oh yeah,
Art.
for photo editing, it's really
Yes,
good. It's really really good.
I had to do a funeral program. Oh my word! And the best photograph I could find was of the deceased with his arms up here,
Hmm.
and I'm like, his face looks amazing. The
Right.
body does not. So I used that software to clean up and to sharpen the photograph. Brought that photograph into Photoshop. 'Cause I didn't like the body of that one. I took the head. I used the the generative field in Photoshop, recreated a body.
Hmm.
It was always cropped too close, so I kept widening the canvas and adding more of the body. Uh, Whoever on the Photoshop and Adobe team that created generative fill,
Amazing. Brian.
like, hmm
So,
you got a question?
well, Brandon, he says he's asking for an IT perspective as a system administrator. I have emails about plates, Statica, InDesign, etc. Totally new to this, also clueless. Um, Brandon, I would say InDesign. I use InDesign for like page layout, like magazines, newsletters. We use InDesign to do our funeral. I call them homegoing guides. I don't like to say obituaries or funeral programs, but yeah, that's what you would use InDesign for just page layouts. Like if you're doing a lot of something with a lot of pages, like manuals, catalogs, magazines, books, anything like that.
See, I call InDesign like a refrigerator. You can bring in so many different things from so many different like things from Photoshop, things from Illustrator. You can bring
Yes.
all those things in and create page layouts or layouts. Period. Um, so yeah, it's a great tool for like doing generic page layout.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. So I've seen people attempt to do magazines and things like that in Photoshop.
Photoshop, Illustrator, and I'm like,
That's the I think I think the amount of time that it takes to get things consistent using that software, you could take that time to learn InDesign, which is not hard. It's not hard to learn.
so so with to lay out in to do that in other programs versus in design. So the problem, let's use Illustrator because Illustrator is probably the better akin. Things move around too loosey goosey in Illustrator.
Yeah.
You can have artboards, but you only can have so many artboards. I learned that on a project. It's only
Hmm.
so many artboards you can put in Illustrator. Like I couldn't even fathom doing the book the coffee table book that I did with over 200 pages in Illustrator. it would have to be multiple Illustrator documents,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then now it it Illustrator is not equipped with a lot of the shortcuts like paragraph styles, character styles.
Oh, it's
You
just
can
not.
do
It's just not built to do it.
you're not built to do it.
Wait,
Uh,
Brian, do you remember what how I learned InDesign?
on what project
Yes.
was it the course catalog?
Yes, the university catalog. Oh man, I got forced into that, and that was tough. That was that
You
was the like
guys, you got
that was one of the most brutal projects I had ever done in my career ever.
Shad. The amount of things that Shad learned in the course of working on that document, I still ask him to this day, like, dude, like, I don't, I a document that size, you have to do uh, paragraph styles, you have to do character styles, and create these different rules so that you can easily
You can
navigate through
eas
these pages.
absolutely the importance of text styles and paragraph styles. If someone says all of the titles are too big in a 200-page document, you have to be able to click one button and change them immediately, opposed to going to every single title and changing them. Also, I kept running into a problem where I would change something and then the text would get bigger and then it would overflow on every page. And the whole book is messed up. And I have to basically change a whole bunch of pages. But I learned there's a book feature in design that will allow that to not happen. However, I'll show you. Look at you. You're looking like, what? Wait a minute. Yeah. So there's a book feature that allows you to set up your chapters. And every time your chapter adds a page, InDesign will automatically add a page instead of like overflowing your text. It's amazing. I learned I had to learn that kind of stuff, and those are the kind of things that um, sets you apart when as a designer, because there are a lot of people that don't know that these things exist. But InDesign is pretty powerful software. I encourage every designer to learn how to use it, especially if you're doing layouts like magazines. You do a lot of like creating PDFs and things like that. Even if you're just into digital creation, InDesign is still a really good tool, especially even if you're doing social media posts. You can put like you're creating a carousel for Instagram. You can put 10 pages right next to each other. I do it all the time. Actually, I use Figma for my social media posts. By the way,
Wow. And I use
yeah.
Keynote.
Now, now that's another some other software that I think everybody should learn how to use is Apple Keynote. Apple Keynote is powerful, absolutely powerful. I think we should do some tutorials on Keynote, Brian,
I think we should, because
because it. Go
I
ahead.
think between what I do with it and what you do with it, we cover the whole gamut. Um, I I tr- I tried to use Keynote to do um,
Like you at Disney animating. That's how you try to use Keynote. It's not even possible, but Brian is like, "Can I do this?" Sure, you sure can, Brian. Go ahead, right? Go ahead and do it. Hey,
but you know what? People have commented on my
come here.
post and said like, what software do you use? I said
Yeah.
Keynote.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think we should do some tutorials like some basic Photoshop, basic basic InDesign, Keynote, Illustrator, so just some basic things,
Yeah,
showing and probably doing a little show and tell along the way. Uh, comment
absolutely.
on in the comments. Let us know what you guys want to see.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Actually, that's the that's the purpose of this video, to kind of get an idea of what you guys want to learn from us. Um, I think it's like what I would like to do, Brian. I'm not going to say what we want to do, but I would like to teach some classes, show people how to do some things that they've always wanted to learn. Um, I know a lot of people work for churches and they're doing their media, but they have no idea how to create this stuff. They're just going to Canva and they're just kind of doing it. That's okay. However, if you want that polished, consistent, branded look, there's a strategy to it, and it's not hard. You just gotta know the strategy. You gotta have a strategy, and we could
And
teach that.
yes, so and the thing, because I have been repeatedly asked, so when you gonna do a class, when you gonna teach a class, when you teach a class, and so like even this live, this was just a shoot by the hip. I said, well, yeah, I want to do a talk today.
Absolutely,
Sure, let's do it
it's
today.
time. It's time for us to stop
So
talking.
stop talking about it and be about it.
Yeah,
2024 is
absolutely. I
about
agree.
doing, not. So yeah, so we're going to show you guys as much as you want to see, um, and about using some tools that normally you wouldn't think to use, like Adobe Express, uh, even Canva.
Af-
The, Canva,
Canva
Canva
is
is,
killing the other design software.
oh
Killing them.
my word. And I tell people, and this is a kind of a food for thought, it's not the tool, it's the artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. But
Because,
but Canva used to be trash. When it first came out, it was trash.
but yeah, Canva is cool. I prefer Express because it's powered by Adobe.
Can you
So you have
animate
the,
in Express like you can in Canva?
in what way?
So Canva, you can create a whole like slideshow, and the text and all of the elements can be like shaking and moving, and you can like
So so Canva in that regards, I think they have that kind of cornered.
that's what I thought.
Uh,
Okay.
I know that I know that Adobe Express has a video component.
Hmm.
I've never I never fooled with it,
Okay.
uh, but like
Maybe we should. Maybe we should go live and just learn the software.
I'm down for this. So uh, I think we're going to start putting a not being random about coming on live. Say like maybe the end of the week type situation, like heading into the weekend.
Yeah, I think that would be
Because
cool.
I know my schedule is always bam, 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 and slammed during the beginning of the week. Um, yeah. Are there any more comments?
No, I didn't see any more. Let me check. Um, nope. Let me check. Facebook. I'm on my small screen today, so everything is kind of like
Oh, on
hidden.
the small screen. Oh,
Um, Brandon said he's been learning Blender. I don't know what Blender is, but I'm gonna look it up.
so yes, Brandon, I want to learn Blender. It's a 3D software.
Oh, okay.
Um, so I the whole month of December, I did this project called 25 Days of Santa, where
Oh
I
wow.
did a different Santa illustration every day. It was based upon diversity and inclusion. Uh, that all Santas are not white men with long white beards, and that Santa does not always default is just black. There's so many shades and ethnicities that need to be explored. So of December, I did, and that Santa does not always. Um, so I wanted to start designing them in a 3D space. So yeah, I would love to learn Blender.
Samil said this should be a three-part series because I'm taking notes. We
Hey,
love you, Samil.
Samil.
We love you.
We love you, Meal.
Yeah, so we're down to four viewers right now. It's getting a little thin. Not saying that four is not enough because we just started. Hopefully, we're gonna let's look. We're gonna challenge y'all. Get us up to 1,000 viewers. Start spreading the word, y'all. We gonna teach y'all some things, and hopefully,
We
we get our viewership up. Me and Brian, we like to have a good time, and we want y'all to have a good time too. We just want y'all to start participating, asking questions, and other designers, non-designers, people that want to learn, etc. If you want to join us, let us know. You can be a part of this. We can all be on here live together.
and I think I want to. I'm gonna say how hard it is to start a Discord,
Oh, okay, no, it's not hard at all.
and so we can like you can post things that you're doing that you learn from this live, and we can possibly do some critiques. Uh,
Absolutely,
we want this to be. We are your friendly neighborhood designers.
absolutely.
We
I'm not
we
that
want
friendly,
neither am I, but we play friendly designers on TV.
but you know
So
what? You know what? We are not gatekeepers.
oh no, we don't. If I know it, you know it.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
so I think we're going to uh, close this out and look out for some posts about the next one for next week.
Absolutely. Love y'all. Y'all have a good night.
All right, peace.